Okay, hey everybody, Dan Fitzpatrick here with Fitz and Five. Um, let's look at the semis today, and you'll see why in a moment. So, the semiconductor index, generally speaking, semiconductors are pretty strong. You guys know that. If you don't, hey, welcome to trading. You just started. So we see here on the, you can go if you really want to get technical. We're looking at the actual index, or we just look at these at the ETF, which is essentially the same thing. Only you can trade it. So this is in a nice uptrending 200-day, 50-day, 20-day. 8-day just turned down a teeny tiny bit because of today. So we don't really care about that yet. And then the price is also moving up. So nobody can quibble. Nobody can quibble with this trend. It's strong, really nice here. Weekly chart shows a really, really nice trend. I mean, I like this. Seems to me like it's going to go higher. However, right now we just kind of need a bit of a rest, right? So let's look at this. So from the 200 up to the very top here, it was 31, 32%. So the price ultimately got 32% above the 200-day moving average before peaking a little bit. Now, this is an ETF, so you're not really going to expect anything super dramatic here. Back here, it was up about 32% from the high. Like right here, probably be maybe a little bit less. 33% here, 35%. So you get it, like low to mid 30s as far as the excursion away from the 200-day moving average. This is important, and this is why. So we look at Nvidia. Sorry about all the stuff here. Let's get rid of that. Nvidia back here at the high. This was up 92%, which again, NVIDIA has been a monster stock. You can't compare this with the semiconductor ETF. They're totally different. That's an average. This is the best. So that's 92. Then we can go. I'm just trying to eyeball and find the greatest distance between whatever the price is and here. So it's 112% right now. Okay, 60%. So if we're just looking in these metrics, this is not at an extreme high relative to the long-term moving average, which is the 200-day. Weekly chart, it really looks the same. Looks fine, though if you've read, well, forget that. I've talked about this enough times to where anybody who's followed me understands this terminology. I see this little fish hook here on the lower Bollinger Band, the Bollinger Band opposite the move. And what this indicates, and you can see it here on the price, it just kind of, it just kind of confirms it. What it indicates is that this trend, at least for the time being, is over. Doesn't mean that we're going to get a big reversal, but it just means that according just to standard deviation, this trend has kind of run its course, and so we can expect more of a pullback. What I'm looking at here is just I don't know how Nvidia is going to trade after hours, but my bet is this: if the stock gaps up and opens up really high on Thursday, I kind of have a hard time thinking it's going to hold that level. It might, because we did see that with Meta here, but Meta's not Nvidia. But that's kind of what I'm looking at here is that even if the stock really, really moves up a lot, the question is, are you going to be selling it or are you going to be buying it? I would absolutely say you don't want to be buying it. Whether you sell it kind of depends on your idea as far as what your trade's going to be. Now, if we look at SMCI, this is a different thing altogether. We look here, SMCI at one point last week was 255% above its 200-day moving average. That's kind of like Mars. It's 170% here at the top. So, you know, I got some emails and a couple comments from people, not that many, but some from people that disagreed with my assessment last week that the SMCI trade is over. You gotta just give it up and move on. And a couple people are saying, no, 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 it's going to move higher on Tuesday. It's going to move higher. And look, there's a bid and an ask to every trade. So there's people take either side of a trade. But the way this is trading, if you just look at it within this one metric, which is the relationship with the 200-day moving average, you can't expect this thing to just keep giving and giving and giving. It's got to pull back just as a function of sell the news, take the money and run. So when I look at the way SMCI is trading, I can't help but make some kind of comparison to the way Nvidia is trading. I've explained to you differences, why they're different, but some things are the same. And I look at this as another, I'm not going to say the move is overdone. Hell, I told Charles Payne months ago that I really felt like the accurate price target on this thing would be $1,000, and I still believe that. But I said it'd take several quarters to get there, and I still believe that too. So I'm bullish on Nvidia. Don't think I'm fading this thing and say, oh, the company's overdone. The move is done. No, not at all. I'm saying as a trade, you take this volatility pop here, you get a nice little 45 or 50% run. You take that money and then wait for a better entry. Sell some of your position, for crying out loud. You don't have to sell it all if you don't want to. You could. It's your trade, not mine. But the bottom line is you take profits, at least some profits, on a stock that goes way above what you think it should normally go. And so that's my sense with this. I've just kind of showed you the semis. I've shown you SMCI. With Nvidia, I say if the stock pops tomorrow after hours, you're probably going to want to book some profits and get out of there, at least for the time being. Okay, that's all I got for you. I'll see you next time.